চিনি নাপাব ছাৰ
First we have to get it from the chief guest and we get it.
Thank you. You in a shoot? What?
Okay. Thank you.
এইখিনি তেনেকৈ হ'লে ভাল হ'ব
Some water.
Akis, Akis.
You are only 6.5 feet over.
just take one I think yes
Hey, come on, I tell you.
But I think we should take one on the
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm here.
yes, with this building.
This building, so this Rakesh Wala photography.
You can come here. Please.
Namaskar and a very good afternoon everyone. Our Honorable Director of CSIR-NEIST Jorhat, Dr. G. Narahari Shastri, well-acclaimed Chief Guest, Professor Amarendra Rajput, Guest of Honor, Professor J.R. Kayal, all treasured invitees, respected staff members of CSIR-NEIST, faculty members and students from several colleges and universities, research scholars and my dear colleagues. I am Anvesha Datta Hazarika, a Junior Research Fellow in the Geoscience and Technology Division of CSIR-NEIST, and today I have the pleasure of being your anchor for this day. And I welcome you all to this August gathering on the occasion of celebration of Earth Day 2022. Every year, International Mother Earth Day or Earth Day is celebrated on April 22nd in over 190 countries around the world to pledge support for environmental protection and intends to be a reminder that the healthier our ecosystems are, the healthier the planet and its people. The event was first celebrated in 1970, making this year the 52nd anniversary of annual celebrations. We are proud to mention that today's event, organized by CSIR-NEIST for celebrating Earth Day 2022, has been internationally recognized by earthday.org under the able patronage and tremendous efforts and initiative of our Honorable Director, Dr. G. Narahari Shastri. Earthday.org is the world's largest recruiter to the environmental movement, working with more than 150,000 partners in over 192 countries to drive positive action for our planet, and one can go to the website earthday.org to find the schedule and details of today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, planting a tree is a great way to celebrate Earth Day. We don't have to plant a forest to enjoy Earth Day. Our small acts can change and improve the world that we live in. Celebration of Earth Day involves engaging in activities like protecting our planet from things like pollution and deforestation and generating awareness about impending earthquakes. Being situated in Zone 5, northeastern region of India, is highly prone to seismic activities. So today's event involves a small initiative of generating awareness about earthquake hazards, and this has been made possible due to the enormous guidance received from our Honorable Director, Dr. G. Narahari Shastri, and kind suggestions received from Professor Harsh K. Gupta. As we celebrate this occasion, Honorable Director of CSIR-NEIST and the esteemed dignitaries present today participated in the program of plantation of trees in front of the Geoscience and Technology Division of CSIR-NEIST and encouraged us to plant more trees. As the popular saying goes, the earth does not belong to us, we belong to the earth. With this note, I would like to start with today's program. To begin this momentous occasion, now may I request Dr. G. Narahari Shastri, Honorable Director of CSIR Northeast Institute of Science and Technology, Jorhat, to come on the dais. Esteemed Chief Guest, Professor Amarendra Rajput, to come on the dais. Now, may I request our renowned guest of honor, Professor J.R. Kayal, sir, to come on the dais. Acknowledge the presence of some of our esteemed guests with tokens of appreciation. So, I would like to request Dr. Timanshu Chetia to kindly coordinate the felicitation program.
Esteemed guests of honor, a very warm good evening to everyone. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of entire CSIR-NEIST family and kindly request Director Sir to felicitate Professor Amarendra Rajput, former Professor Dibrugad, Assam, Harmaya University, Ethiopia. Anvesha and Mosumi, may I please request you to assist Director Sir for the felicitation to Professor Rajput. Thank you, sir. Director Sir, to felicitate Professor J.R. Kaya, former Deputy Director General, Geological Survey of India. Anvesha and Mosumi, may I kindly request you to assist Director Sir.
Sir, sir, sir.
Thank you, sir. Principal Scientist, CSIR-NEIST, to felicitate Director Sir, Dr. Shastri. Thank you, sir. Professor P.P. Acharya, Principal Techno College of Engineering, Tripura, to the dais and kindly request Director Sir to felicitate him. I kindly request Professor Acharya to have a seat in the dais for signing of the MOU with CSIR-NEIST. Sir, please. Uh, 2021 has been a great year for us, as prestigious Shanti Sarup Bhatnagar Award was awarded to Dr. Vinay Kumar Saikia of CSIR-NEIST, Assam. At the same pace, we are fortunate and pleased to have Sir Women Excellence Awardee 2022, Dr. Binita Pathak of Department of Physics, Divrugarh University, with us today. She is the first woman from Assam to grant the prestigious award and also one of the students of Professor Amrendra Rajput. May I please invite Dr. Binita Pathak to the stage and would kindly like to request Director Sir to felicitate Dr. Binita Pathak. Anmisha, may I please request you to assist Director Sir? Ma'am, please.
Congratulations.
Call for continuing rest of the program schedule.
Function, Professor Amrendra Rajput. The guest of honor, Professor Jorhat, and my friends from Geoscience Division and all the staff members. We are also extremely happy that we are going to sign an MOU with this Mizoram Techno College of Engineering, Agartala. And I also thank Professor Pinaki Pratim Acharya and Abhi Paul, who came all the way from Agartala. We have a very interesting situation in the world where Earth is tolerating many of the activities that humans are doing with a lot of patience. But before the patience of the earth runs out, we have to awaken and then see that we have to be a little bit more responsible. About 52 years before, when this Earth Day was felt, mainly to look at the environment, pollution, people have taken this as an occasion to wake up and then plan in such a way that we will have a sustainable future. This year's theme is invest in our planet. How do we invest in our planet is up to us. But our investment should be rewarding and it should make a difference in the way the earth, the Mother Earth can take care of itself and the people who are belonging to it in a much more loving way. While we cannot overemphasize the importance of trees and other ecosystems, we also have to realize that there are some disasters that are happening, like landslides in Northeast particularly, and we will have to see that how do we prevent or try to deal with these landslides. And another important aspect that we all have to pay attention, that our region is this Indo-Myanmar belt is a seismic region where the probability of earthquakes are very high. And Professor Kayal, when he made a statement last year, during his talk, he says that earthquakes do not kill people, but buildings do. We all have to say that how we can withstand if an earthquake comes, because earthquake warning systems are very difficult. It will be a few seconds, but by the time many things will happen. But people should be aware of what to do and what not to do during the earthquake. And when Padmashri Professor Harshagupta, who was the RC chairperson of this institute, visited us, he was always telling us that we should try to bring the awareness about how do we respond to the earthquakes in the northeast region. So, on this occasion, on behalf of Geoscience, Dr. Manoj Pukan, Dr. Shantanu, Dr. Debashish, and all others, Dr. Vijay, Chinmay, and other technical officers and the students, we are taking a pledge that we will reach out to 10,000 school children, where these school children will be sensitized of how to react when an earthquake strikes. This is an idea that is given by Dr. Harshagupta, and with a lot of discussion, we realize that in the next 1 year, we will have a series of programs to sensitize the school children, because this is felt as the only way to combat when an earthquake strikes, and the best way to sensitize the population is sensitize through school children, because this is a practice that is there in Japan and several other countries which are earthquake prone, and these particular measures appear to be very, very effective. So next to that, I am extremely happy that Professor Rajput has taken a subject, and this is a little bit a philosophical. He is a quantum physicist, and I myself trained as a quantum chemist. He talks about the creation of the planet Earth as a cosmic miracle, and I am very much looking forward to this talk from a scientific perspective. Because some things are elusive for science, but we should not give up just because we don't find solutions. This is an interesting topic. Thank you, sir, for choosing a good topic. And as all of you know, that Professor Kayal is our mentor, and he has been constantly advising us for the last 40 years. And we request sir to continue to advise us, and actually this is his suggestion that led us to go with this Techno College of Engineering Agartala, because he met me about a year before and then say that we should try to help the NIT Mizoram, NIT Agartala, as well as this Techno College, and our very dynamic Avik Paul, who wanted to make sure that this happens, and Manoj, Shantanu and all the team members are really very helpful. And I am sure that this particular station that is going to be there in Techno College will augment the already good facilities that are there and which are going to come in the next few years, because we had a good discussion with the NIT Agartala director, and if necessary we will give one more seismic station there, and they are also planning to invest in this particular area. And I strongly believe that we have to be extremely careful about the seismic activity that is there, and prediction is very important, and also awareness is very, very important. That is on one side. Just for the benefit of our chief guest and the guest of honor and others, we in CSIR-NEIST have different projects, and the projects which are really helpful in the fixation of the carbon sequestration is our aroma mission, floriculture, which are really big projects, and we are also working on immunity mission based on the fruits, vegetables, spices and herbs. And one of the major focus is there is a lot of land which is not fully utilized in the northeast region, and we would like to have a very carefully planned forestation of this land. And in addition to that, I am very happy to bring to your notice that NEIST Jorhat was chosen as the responsible station for the National Medicinal Plant Board. The National NMPB has 7 RCFCs, the Regional Facilitation Centers, which are responsible to look at all the medicinal plant cultivation for this region. So this year we have got that responsibility for the entire Northeast. So with that responsibility, we have a very good plan to cultivate the medicinal plants and then bring up forestation in a responsible way. And on this 22nd April, actually we happen to be with this global summit of Ayush, and there is also an ethnopharmacology summit in Mysore, where our people have gone there to represent along with me, and now we are trying to celebrate, and I thank Professor Rajput, Professor Kayal and the techno team from Agartala for coming all the way, and definitely we will be able to work together to bring in some things where our Mother Earth will not be stressed. If the Mother Earth is happy, we all will be happy. Thank you very much. Jai.
Sharing your wonderful remarks and valuable words on the occasion of celebration of Earth Day. Now moving ahead with today's agenda, I am pleased to announce that we are fortunate enough to have a video message shared by Padma Shri awardee Professor Harshke Gupta for today's event of celebration of Earth Day. Now I would like to call upon stage Dr. Debashish Mohanty to read a brief biodata of Professor Harshke Gupta.
Good afternoon everyone, Honorable Director Sir CSIR-NEIST, Professor Kayal, Guest of Honor, and Chief Guest of Honor Professor Rajput, and scientists, and ladies and gentlemen. So before the video message of Professor Harshke Gupta will be there, so I will have to read something about him. Professor Harshke Gupta is a well-renowned earth scientist and seismologist known all over the world for his pioneering work on estimation of the reservoir-induced earthquakes and major scientific contributions. He led the third Indian scientific expeditions to Antarctica and established the first permanent Indian-based station for scientific research, that is called Dakshin Kanpur. Dr. Gupta served as the director of National Geophysical Research Institute, Hyderabad, for nearly a decade, and he began his tenure from 1992. A recipient of 1983 Santishwar Bhatnagar Award and the highest award in the Science and Technology category, and also the 2008 Waldo Smith Medal by the American Geophysical Union in recognition of his extraordinary service to geophysics. Apart from being a recipient of several accolades and awards, Dr. Gupta also served in the leading positions of several eminent organizations of Government of India. To name a few, he served as the Secretary to the Government of India in Department of Ocean Development, advisor to the Department of Science and Technology, and member of the National Disaster Management Authority. Also, he served as visiting professors at a number of universities and institutes in Europe and USA. It is quite tough to concise the elaborate biography of this globally recognized personality and to mention his wide range of achievements that also demonstrates his effective leadership capabilities. So without further delay, I request the technical team to show the video message of Professor Harshke Gupta. Thank you.
Seated with the CSIR-NEIST, and we celebrate Earth Day today. As we all know, First day was established in 1970, and this year the theme is To Our Problems. And every year more than 1 million people participate and try to discuss and see what we can do to save our planet from several issues which are facing us, the most important being the global warming. As you all know, that we have to somehow contain our temperature increase to less than 1.5 degrees Celsius over the years. Those are the major issues. But effort has to be made at the grassroots level at a very, very young stage. In this direction, I'm very happy to see that NEIST has done remarkably well. First of all, several years ago, NEIST insisted on generating awareness among school children, growing gardens, maintaining gardens, which was an excellent initiative of NEIST. Recently, on a visit to NEIST campus, I saw that several artificial lakes are built on the NEIST campus, where the water is collected down the year and used for greening of the campus. So there could not be a better use of resources. The water is such a precious resource. Another very important thing that NEIST is doing is making use of the natural products of the Northeast India. As we all know, that Northeast India is blessed with bounty of natural products, which are useful for so many medical products, pharmacy, etc., etc. And NEIST has come up with a number of new medicines generated from locally available raw material, which is very, very commendable. So I think this effort should continue, and at the top of it, I would also like to stress upon the need of teaching geology as a school at the school level. Normally, we get to know about physics, chemistry, biology, but mathematics, but not geology. You see, if we can introduce awareness about the earth, which we learn through geology, then we are hopeful of generating or developing responsible citizens who will take care of planet Earth. Let me not take any more of your time. I wish you all the best.
Mr. Harshke Gupta, sir, we are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts with us on this auspicious occasion. Now, I'd like to request Dr. G. Narahari Shastri, our Honorable Director of CSIR-NEIST, to felicitate another guest, Dr. Abhi Paul from Techno College of Engineering, Agartala. Next in our agenda, we have a Memorandum of Understanding that will be signed between Techno College of Engineering, Agartala and CSIR Northeast Institute of Science and Technology, Jorhat. G.R. Kayal. Now, I would like to call upon stage Dr. Chinmay Rajkar to read a brief biodata of Professor G.R. Kayal.
Seniors, colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen. Now, I am going to read out a short biodata of Professor J.R. Kayal, sir. Professor Kayal did his MSc Tech from Indian School of Mines, Dhanbad in 1969 and PhD in Micro-Earthquake Seismology from Victoria University, New Zealand in 1983. After post-graduation, he joined Oil and Natural Gas Commission in 1970. He joined the Geological Survey of India in 1971. He rose to the rank of Deputy Director General of GSI in November 2006. In 2007, he was an emeritus scientist in the Jadavpur University, Kolkata. He is a visiting professor at various universities in India and abroad since 1995. He is leading several international research projects for the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. He is a guest faculty to the UNESCO and ICTP, also National Coordinator and Fellow of several national and international scientific unions, such as IGU, AEZ, etc. He has about 50 years of research experience in explorations, geophysics, and earthquake seismology, and about 20 years of experience in teaching in India and abroad. He has published more than 130 research papers in national and international journals, and also editor and reviewer of several national and international journals in earth sciences. He is the author of the book Micro-Earthquake Seismology and Seismotectonics in Southeast Asia, published in 2008. Over the years, Professor J.R. Kyle has been constantly associated with the Geoscience and Technology Division of CSIR-NEIST and has been always providing constant support and valuable suggestions all the time. With this short introduction, now may I request Professor J.R. Kyle sir to deliver his speech on this occasion. Please, sir.
Good afternoon to all. Respected and most generous director of the CSIR-NEIST, Professor Shastri, Chief Guest, Professor Rajput, and distinguished guest, Dr. Acharya and Praveen Pal. Praveen Pal having been a student of NIT Agartala, a very dynamic person and faculty of Techno India College. So nice to see all of you here, and now I am overwhelmed by today's program since morning. It is not really the celebration of Earth Day, as we say that we are celebrating it today. It is actually being implemented by his ideas and an activity by Dr. Shastri. He is really implementing it and showing the young generation how to develop a sustainable society in this planet, our living planet, Earth. Now, as it was explained by the Emperor, that Earth belongs to us, means it is we who are living in this Earth, and it is our responsibility to see that the Earth's environment, Earth's pollution does not happen by our man-made activity. And many instances, in fact in 2020 January, there was an international seminar in this same auditorium on environment. And I have seen how this institute is really playing the active role, not only for the, Jorhat or surrounding, but for the whole Northeast India. This institute is taking care for the development of the society and for making it a sustainable society. As Professor Shastri has already mentioned, that we are living in an earthquake-prone zone. So the planet, in this planet, we have several types of geohazards, as already mentioned: earthquakes, tsunamis, landslides, volcanic eruption, storms, so on and so forth. Now, how to make or build up a happy society in this planet? That is our duty, and that can be achieved only by awareness. Say, for example, we all know that how the plants, the trees take care of our air pollution. And today, an agenda was kept by planting trees in this campus. So, it's not only by words. The director of this institute makes it implemented and show us the path, show the young generation how to make a happy society in this planet. Now, to touch a few points, today morning I had a great opportunity, again by his idea, Professor Sahu's idea, to interact with the young scientists of this institute. And as you know, it's always my great pleasure to be here. I thank you all for having me here in this event today. And I was telling to the young scientists that as of today, we cannot predict earthquake with space, time and magnitude. Even a doctor cannot predict our last breath with all instruments in hands. They can examine our body, scan our body, they can do everything, but they still cannot predict our last. So our scientists can try to understand the earthquakes, like doctors try to understand our body. So our scientists can understand the planet Earth's activity. It's a dynamic body, it's a living body. The earthquakes or geohazards are its activity, its living activity. So we cannot stop, but we can be aware how to live with these natural calamity or geohazards. I think NEIST is playing a big role towards it. I cannot go into details of how this institute is doing the job. They are having very good network, they are having qualified scientists to do the microgenesis map. Since we cannot stop the earthquake, we cannot predict the earthquake as of today. And I was sharing my experience with young scientists that even if we predict the earthquake, suppose with your artificial intelligence or whatever, young generation, if they are able to predict earthquakes with specific time and magnitude and space, how can you avoid the disaster of the property? Or how can you implement it? If you predict that there will be an earthquake on 10th August in this year, a large earthquake in Jorhat or in Guwahati, what you can do? Will you shift the whole Guwahati city to some other place or Jorhat to some other place? We have to learn with the nature. We have to learn to live with these earthquakes. And for that, the scientists are able to pinpoint the sites which are more vulnerable for earthquake damage. Already maps are known which are areas for more vulnerable earthquakes. But even now, the microgenesis map are made. NEIST has made a very big role. They have prepared many microgenesis map of this, of many cities of this Northeast India. And those maps are the guidelines, how you can take care of making your building, your houses. Which are the spots which are more vulnerable for earthquake risk. So this is how we can make a happy society in this planet. So our earth science has got a big role towards this endeavor, and it is very overwhelming feeling that Dr. Shastri is not only having his network only around Assam, the whole Northeast India is struggling, is extending his helping hand for earthquake studies, for environmental studies, for agriculture studies, so many things. So more I interact, more I see Dr. Shastri, more I love him actually. I respect him. So I think this is the message I wanted to give in today's this gathering, that we have to be aware. And I just now heard that there is a plan that the school children will be trained what to do during an earthquake. Actually, in 1980s, when I was doing my PhD study in New Zealand, I noticed that in every school, in every hospital, every public places, they have a notice what to do and what not to do during an earthquake. So this is how scientists can help, and it is the public who has to take the message, the authorities who has to take the results of the scientists to make it a pollution free or geohazards free. You cannot make it free, but how to live with these geohazards, that we have to be aware of it. And I thank you all for having me here, and I think NEIST is doing a great job, and it is always my great pleasure to be here and to learn from the younger generation. Today I have learned a lot. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation to be present here amongst us today and giving your valuable and precious time. It was quite inspiring to hear from you, from your years of experience in the field of geophysics and earth sciences. Thank you once again, sir. Now, moving ahead with today's program, we have an invited talk by our chief guest, Professor Amarendra Rajput, on the topic, the creation of the planet Earth as a cosmic miracle. Here is a brief biodata of Professor Rajput. He is one of the greatest physics teachers of the nation. His lucid style of teaching attracts everyone. Professor Amarendra Rajput earned his BSc and MSc degree from University of Delhi and accomplished his PhD degree from IIT Madras. He specialized in theoretical physics, which includes quantum mechanics, cosmology, and solid-state physics. With his rich experience of working as a professor of physics in India, he has been former professor. He has been a former professor at esteemed Dibrugarh and Assam University for almost 37 years. Later on, invitation from Ministry of Education Ethiopia, he also served as a professor in Haramaya University in Ethiopia in 2008 and spent around 10 years in Ethiopia. He has dozens of publications in reputed journals and international conferences. At present, he is teaching at Royal Global University, Guwahati. So, it's an immense privilege to have you amongst us here in this auspicious day of Earth Day celebration. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I'd like to request Professor Rajput, sir, to deliver his speech. Thank you, sir.
Professor Dr. Narahari Shastri, am I right? Okay. Professor Kayal, distinguished professor, and other distinguished teachers, scientists, what should I call it? Teachers. And my dear, so lovely young gathering of students, teachers, scientists, and the rest. I am so grateful to this institute for giving this unique opportunity to meet and face and interact with this colorful gathering. So, well, with this preliminaries, I would like to take you to a different world, if I feel. We talk about everything science, technology, but let us see what science can tell something else also. You see, when I was approached to give a talk on this occasion, I was wondering, it is the art day. Everybody knows what is the art. You can read in internet, newspapers, magazines, everything about art, about environment and whatnot. Then I was thinking, can I say something different about the art, which is not easily available in literature? So I chose the topic, the creation of the planet Earth as a cosmic miracle. Now, people might think that being a physicist, why do you talk about miracle? Because people think that in science there cannot be any miracles. Once I met a professor of English. He was telling me, Professor Rajput, tell me, I think you don't believe in miracles? Then I asked him, define what is a miracle. He could not. Miracle means, something very difficult to understand, how it is happening and all that. Yes, you have the answer. You yourself are a miracle. You think about you. Who are you? What is inside you? What is working inside you? Chemically, biologically, everything. Have you ever thought about it? Think it deeply. And you will see, miracle is very simple. You yourself is a miracle. In fact, every object in this universe is a miracle if you go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. Or superficially, people think that, oh, this happens, it will happen, nothing else. But everything is a miracle if you have the right attitude, right insight to go into it. And that is what physicists try to observe. Excuse me, Professor Sastry and Kyle, I am a bit biased towards physics. I admire all branches, but because I feel personally that physics started as a science of nature. The very definition of physics is science of nature. And nature includes everything, everything. So that is what physicists try to understand, explain, and tell the people about. Now, coming back to this Earth, why I call it not an ordinary planet, but a miracle planet. Simple thing. First, if you are a bit careful, you will notice that in this entire universe, this is the only place, the Earth, where we exist, where intelligence exists, where life developed. Is it not a miracle planet? Thing is, but why? How? Why life had to develop in this particular planet called Earth? And who designed it? Who thought about it? Or what thought about it? What was there behind it that this should be a special planet? Let us now try to explain it very briefly. I don't know everything, but my own views I will tell you. You see, we call it art is our mother. But art has its own mother. The mother is the entire universe. If you look at the universe, billions of galaxies, billions of stars spreading over billions and billions kilometers across. And do you know what is the position of art in this universe? It is not even a tiny, tiny point. If you go to the sea beach, can you count the number of particles on the sand on the beach? You cannot. So if that constitutes the universe, the beach, a single particle will be just equivalent to a solar system. So how insignificant we are. And on this earth, we human beings live. And we are not ordinary human beings. We have a brain. It's only 1.5 kg. 100 billion neurons. Trillions of interconnections. And brain works. It's a miracle because this brain now has been able to scan the entire universe, giving us the entire knowledge about the universe, which have been experimentally verified. All these years. This is the bigger universe I am talking about, visible universe. But you should also know there is another universe, invisible, which you don't see directly, you can't feel it directly, but it exists, and that is more powerful universe, and more interesting and exciting and exotic universe. That is the world of microparticles, like electrons, atoms, molecules. They are the fundamental objects of this micro-universe. Now physics studies both this universe, the bigger visible universe and the micro-universe. Now, coming back to art again. Now, if anybody who studies, looks at a book or article, they will know how art was created. Art, as you know, it was created like this. First, the solar system was created out of nebulae. We call it nebulae. Nebulae means it is a cloud of gas and other particles, just like mainly helium and hydrogen particles. Huge amount of gas. It's everywhere in the universe. Suddenly what happened? See, this is a miracle. Suddenly what happened? One particular nebula was hit by a shock wave. And this shock wave was sent by another very massive star, supernova. Supernova explosions which created shock waves throughout the space. And this collided with a nebula. And this gas particles, cloud started speeding and swirling with high speed. And ultimately what happens? These billions of particles, they try to concentrate at the center. Gravitation acted on them. Gravitation pulled them together to the central region. And over the time, this central region was so dense, highly dense, very high temperature, collisions. It started emitting radiations. Radiations because in the process, it is a nuclear process, hydrogen atoms getting converted into helium atoms, and in the process, tremendous amount of energy is released. It is a fusion process, like hydrogen bomb. So, tremendous energy was released, and the central region would, over the millions of years, it became slowly stable, and the star was born. This star is called the sun. Sun was born. And the remaining materials which are going around this sun, they still started revolving, and under gravity, the matter in this cloud, they tried to localize different places around the sun because of gravity again. And this is how Earth formed as a planet. There are 9 planets, you already know. Earth is the 3rd one. So Earth was formed like that. And from that moment, this rotation existed, spinning existed, Earth started rotating. Not only rotating, it started going around the sun. Why? This is again a miracle. Because You see, art must go around the sun in a definite orbit. Now you might ask, why? Why it should have fallen into the sun because of gravitation? Nobody knows. It's a miracle. What brought the stability? What or who wanted that there should be 9 stable planets around the sun going around? Is it not a mystery? It's a miracle. We only try to understand how things happen, but why happened? Nobody has the answer. I am telling you how things happen. Now you see, art was like that, spinning and spinning. Now see the motion. Everything started with motion. Remember, without motion nothing can exist. We say motion is another name for life. Life is motion. Existence is motion. No motion, nothing exists. This is applicable everywhere in this universe. I'll come to that point. Now you see how the motions of the art was regulated. You see, first, art was rotating at a speed of 1600 kilometers per hour, about its own axis. See? Started. Then it's going around the sun at a speed of 1 lakh kilometers per hour. And this speeds, which started billion years back, 4.6 billion years back, still continuing at the same rate. Same rate. Stability is there. How is it? How is it? There's no power loss. There's no energy loss. Is it not a miracle? The art is a miracle. And not only that, look at the motion. Sun is also rotating about its own axis at a speed of 7,000 kilometers per hour. And not only that, entire solar system is going around the center of the galaxy, our galaxy Milky Way, at a speed of 8 lakh kilometers per hour. And don't think that Milky Way is at rest. No, Milky Way is also moving in that space with 80 lakhs kilometers per hour. Motion. Everywhere motion. And this motion still persists. That is why we have this art we live. Secondly, see how life was originated here. Ordinary conditions will not help. There must be some specialized condition, finely tuned conditions. How it was achieved. Art did not have any atmosphere in the beginning. No oxygen. How it was created? It was created because first, when art was there, very young, meteors from the space hit it. Lightning was there, sun rays, everything started acting on it. Oxygen was produced through chemical reactions. Now, as you see, this slowly happened. And ultimately, atmosphere was created, ocean was formed, and once this water was available, atmosphere available, conditions were starting to develop to create something. But before that, what I want to tell you is, this meteor, they were all the time hitting the earth. We have to stop the meteor so that life can develop on the earth. To stop these meteors, one special layer in the atmosphere was created. It is called mesosphere. It is about 85 kilometers. So this atmosphere layer was such that if the meteors wanted to hit the earth, they would have to pass through that layer, and in passing through that layer, they will get burned, so that earth is saved. First thing. Then another layer, O3, ozone layer was created. Why? Because this is the layer which stops the harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun. So why, how this created, why? Because we think that conditions were being created so that something can happen on this earth, some new things, life, organisms can grow. And which time, as you know, microorganisms grew. When special conditions were created, Earth was neither too hot nor too cold, and all the situations were perfect for chemical reactions to start. Self-replicating molecules were created, and once self-replicating molecules were created, rest is history, evolution process. Evolved slowly. So this evolution process went on, created everything in this universe, starting from plants, low organisms, animals, and ultimately Homo sapiens. The best specimen is human being. So, is this not a miracle? Who designed it, or what designed it? Why human beings have to be created? This itself is a miracle. What is the purpose behind? That I'll come to later. So anyway, this is briefly speaking about this art. And remember, there's another miracle in us. DNA molecule. DNA molecule. DNA. The biologists know this. Now the latest discovery, this is another miracle in the sense that this DNA contains everything in either it's an animal or a plant or a human being. All the informations are contained. How it will develop, how it will grow. A single DNA contains coded language informations. It contains huge amount of informations, and if you want to write them out, you will have to write, how many books? You will need so many number of books which you can store only in stacks covering about, 10 million kilometers. So much of information is contained in a single molecule. One of the greatest biological miracles. So, everything is a miracle in this art. That is why I wanted to tell you that art is a miracle for us. It's not a simple, it's not a simple planet consisting of these mountains and different casts and all that. More than that. More than that. So that's what I wanted to tell you about. Now, you see, I cannot go everything into details. We have to respect time, We have to respect time. Now, coming back to the bigger universe. You see, till Galileo and Newton, all of you know, that it was Galileo who first told us about what is gravity. Everything falls with the same acceleration, and he did a lot of experiments at the Leaning Tower at Pisa, Rome. I think you should try to visit that place. Wonderful. Daily about more than 20,000 people from all over the world visit that place, Leaning Tower at Pisa, Italy. Now, he started this scientific thinking, pure scientific thinking, gravity. Then he studied motions. But the thing is that Galileo was not very meticulous. He could not collect the materials, put it in a very orderly manner. So, but he gave us a lot of information. He scribbles something and wrote it down. Then next came Newton. And ironically, Newton was born in the year 1642, in which year Galileo died. Same year. So Newton had to carry that legacy. And Newton later on, he extended this idea of gravity to the entire solar system, entire universe. That is, he proposed that gravity is not a unique property of the earth, it is a universal property, and he called it gravitation. And all of you know the Newton's law of gravitation from school physics. So that is one of the most wonderful discovery of all times by Newton. And about the motions, laws of motion, all of you know about. Now, Newton also told us about this universe. Newton, he believed that gravitation is acting everywhere in this universe, between stars and stars, between galaxies and galaxies, everywhere. It is attractive force. And he believed, he said that our universe is infinite in size, it existed from eternity, and it will continue to exist to eternity. That was the Newtonian concept of the universe. Why he did so, you know, let me tell you one story. When he proposed this theory of gravitation, he was asked, okay, Professor Newton, if you say every object attracts every other object, then why not all these galaxies attract each other and fall into a single place? Now he was worried. So to counter this question, he said that, no, what happens, suppose there are two galaxies, they attract. But remember, this one, AB, they attract, okay. But there's another galaxy, C, it is pulling. But what about C? Again another galaxy, up to infinity. So these are all distributed, so one is pulling, one is pushing, so ultimately balance is there. Stable. So that is how we explain the stability of the universe. But later on, it was found that his idea was wrong, because when you have a collection of a large number of objects with mutual interaction, it can be proved mathematically that they will ultimately collapse into a single spot, nothing will remain. But this was not challenged till beginning of 20th century. This was, Newton started in 17th century. Now, till the beginning of 20th century, his ideas prevailed. Now, 28th century, starting from 1900 to 1940, that is the most glorious chapter in the history of evolution of physics, not only physics, the entire human knowledge and understanding. This is the period when the most brilliant minds of the world were working together, starting from Einstein, the great Einstein, Schrödinger, Heisenberg, Dirac, so many, hundreds, brilliant minds working together. I'll start with Einstein. Einstein, I did not tell you, all of you know about his 1905. That is the golden year, because that is the year when Einstein appeared on the scene of the scientific community as a theoretical physicist. Before that, he was nobody. He was neither a well-known professor, well-known scientist, or a lecturer, not even a school teacher. He was simply clerk. He was not getting any job, he's clerk. But from the position of a clerk, suddenly he became the most illustrated